Leone's final film, his sprawling gangster epic Once Upon a Time in America, is a crime film that I feel is in contention to being the best gangster movie of all time. For sure, it's a toss-up between Coppola's film, Scorsese's Goodfellas, and this. Goodfellas had not been made yet, so America's main encounter with the mob world was Coppola's movies, highly romanticized worlds where the criminals had ethics and codes. Leone's pet project, which had been something he apparently wanted to make since the early 60s, had its protagonists be extremely vile people, killers, traitors and rapists. The main character, played by Robert De Niro, commits some horrific acts throughout the film, and the film is made all the more poignant and powerful by having the character reach his old age and revisit the place and people whom he subjected a lot of his cruel acts onto. A bit like Scorsese's upcoming The Irishman, really. Once Upon a Time in America is a crime saga spanning decades and flip-flops between time periods, showing the heyday of De Niro's gang, the joyous times in their youth when they all met, and during the senior years, after which rifts and deaths in the relationships made things go sour. Despite the extreme violence, I found the film very moving, especially through its themes of nostalgia, regret, friendship, love, redemption, and self-examination. Morricone delivered a knockout score, one that can take you away to distant memories. As revered as the film is today, it was completely torn apart by critics upon release in 1984. Leone had originally envisioned 2 3-hour-long films, and then one 4.5-hour-long film, and when this was rejected, then finally a 3-hour and 49-minute version, which he felt he was unable to further trim down as it would compromise the story. American distributors cut the film down further to 139 minutes and recut the film into chronological order without Leone's consent, and he was devastated when this version was wide released and it was reviled as nonsensical crap. Critics who had seen both versions condemned the changes made to the film, and the European version is often hailed as one of the best gangster films of all time. In fact, some cite the American version as the worst film of 1984 and the European version as the best film of the decade. Go figure, even after 20 years could they not see Leone knew what he was doing. The handling of the film was so crap that due to paperwork issues, Morricone's score was not even eligible for an Oscar. It's really irritating how much they messed this film up. There's a longer version of the movie as well that exists if you're interested. I think it was released in 2012, which contains so-called lost scenes. But with that version, the scenes that they entered, the quality doesn't match with the rest of the film and it's quite noticeable, kind of taking you out of the film.